If you've ever felt behind in life as a musician, like you're putting in the work, but nothing is happening, then this video is for you. It's really frustrating, right? When it feels like everyone around you is winning at life and you're still stuck. But here's the thing, feeling behind is a lie. You are actually right where you need to be, and probably more ahead than you're giving yourself credit for. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can navigate these times when it feels like you're falling behind. And trust me, I know what this feels like because I've been building my music career for the past 8 years, and I still haven't achieved any kind of major breakthrough or anything like that. I'm very much in the trenches, and I've been stuck more times than I can count. But I've found ways to keep going, and I'm gonna share them with you in this video. So the first thing we need to do when we're feeling behind in life is we need to escape the comparison trap, because what's likely happening is that you are comparing yourself and your achievements to other people, or you are mapping your life to this kind of societal expectation or the social timeline, which tells us that you need to achieve certain things by a certain age. I'm 28 and my 30s are quickly approaching, and I've constantly had this pressure on me that tells me I have to have my life figured out by 30 and that I'm cooked if I don't. And so honestly, I just don't feel ready. Like, I'm still in the skill building phase. I'm laying the foundation for a company, like a music education company, and I can't do this in like the next 2 years. That's just completely ridiculous. And so this is just some kind of random narrative that we have in society, which puts so much pressure on us to figure everything out by a certain age, okay? You have to have a certain amount of money. You have to have made it at the age of 30 or something like that, okay? So if you are feeling pressured by that, throw that away. That's just a story that we're telling ourselves. And the next thing is that you might be comparing yourself to other people. Now, it's really hard not to in today's age, okay? So we all do it, right? Because social media gives us the highlight reel of the best musicians in the world. And so you see someone your age who's killing it on your instrument and you feel like they're winning and you're not. They probably started learning music when they were 5 or something. Meanwhile, you started when you were 15. And so they might have 10 years on you, even though they're the same age. And so what you have to understand is that we are all on our own unique journey, and we all have our own internal sense of rhythm and our own pace and our own internal metronome. And what's really important is that we tap in and tune in to our own rhythm. And so the main lesson here is to understand where you're at, understand your journey, your rhythm, your pace, understand the BPM of your own internal metronome and go at that pace, rather than trying to match somebody else's pace who might be at like 120 BPM and you're just at 60 BPM. Right? Go at your own pace, because it's going to bring you a lot more peace and you're just going to be cool with it. You can win at life at your own rhythm, and that's perfectly fine. Another thing is that it's really helpful to understand how sacrifices work. So let's say you see an incredible musician who's your age crushing it at music. What you don't understand is that they made sacrifices to get that level of skill. So if you want their level of skill, you also have to absorb their level of sacrifice. Right? They sacrificed X, Y, and Z so that they could practice 8 hours a day to get that level of skill, right? So for example, I am a fantasy writer. I love writing books. I'm writing my second book currently. It's a book series called The Adventures of Jazz Cat and Reggae Dog. I love it. It's a part of who I am. And I am not going to sacrifice that so that I can improve my musical ability. No way. Also, I'm building a music education company, and that's a lot of work, and that's a part of my life purpose. That's a part of my mission as a musician, because I love sharing, I love teaching music, and I want to help younger musicians. I've sacrificed my elite musical ability potential so that I can walk my unique path and I can pursue my unique interests as a person. I can write my books, I can build my company, I can have purpose in other areas, and I'm cool with that. You know, I don't need an elite level of musical skill, right? And that's the sacrifice I've made. Okay, so the second thing you want to do when you're feeling behind in life is that you want to use it as an opportunity for growth and an opportunity to review your strategy, okay? So this is what you're going to do when you're really feeling down about where you're at and what you're doing. You want to just accept it, okay? Don't reject it or deny those feelings. It's perfectly human and it's perfectly normal. Like, literally, pretty much every artist and creative experiences this. So just validate how you feel, okay? That might do a world of good for you rather than just try to push it down or something. Maybe you could make art from it, write a song, or maybe just like express it on your instrument, okay? But don't wallow in that energy, okay? So the next thing you want to do is you want to kind of get up, you know, and have a strategy session, have a planning session. Now, I can't explain your situation. I can only explain my situation. So I was really feeling behind in life over the past week, and this might sound ridiculous, but it's because of this YouTube channel, right? As I said, I'm building a music education company and I'm about to launch my first product. I've been putting a lot of work into this thing, but the main frustration is like, you know, it's like my baby. I love this thing and I really want people to know about it. But if I can't get views on my YouTube videos, it's kind of like useless. It's good to nobody because nobody is going to know about it, right? And so my big frustration was that this channel just isn't growing and I don't know how to grow it. I've been trying so many things. I've put so much work into this channel and it's actually had the negative effect where it's getting less and less views. And in fact, I upload a video and I lose subscribers. And it's always like, I just got so frustrated, you know, I got so down about it over the past week. I allowed myself to experience that for like a day or two and I was graceful to myself, you know, I went and got a bagel, but then I was like, okay, I'm not going to stay in this energy because staying in that energy is not helpful to anybody. Right? You want to flip it into a productive, constructive energy and think, okay, what can I do better? Let's review the plan. Let's review the strategy. And so that's what I've been doing over the past few days. I've just been brutally honest about my channel and looking at my bottlenecks, looking at where I'm going wrong and just accepting that I'm not as good as I think I am and I need to improve in certain areas. I realized that my branding was all over the place. My thumbnails were completely all over the place and I didn't have a clear sense of brand. And so I went through and I redid all the thumbnails. And so I created a new strategy for my channel and I resolved to follow that strategy for the next month and use that as an experiment. You see how I used that kind of slump and feeling behind and I kind of like pivoted through that into strategy, into purpose, into working to refine what I'm doing and just embracing the fact that I'm probably not as good as I think I am and I can improve. And so this is turning it into a constructive, productive energy. And so this is all about reframing this idea of feeling behind in life as actually a blessing in disguise, because it's a sign that you're actually on the right path, right? And you get a chance to review your strategy and come back and attack from a better angle and have a better strategy. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you're going to strike gold and it's going to work out and you're going to have that big breakthrough that you're looking for. Okay, and then the third thing you want to do when you're feeling behind in life, and I think this is probably the most effective and immediate thing that you can do, is to redefine what it means to win. Okay, so this is actually one of the reasons why I love to think of music as a game, because if it's a game, we get to decide how to play that game and we get to decide what it means to win that game. Right? And so if you're feeling behind, it might just be the case that your definition of winning is way too high. My definition of winning is that I need my YouTube channel to break through. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous, because I feel like I'm winning in so many other ways, but I haven't been recognizing it. Like, I'm playing these epic jazz nights with some of the best musicians in town. You know, I'm in an epic band. I played a music festival earlier this year. I played the world's longest grand piano on live television. And so it's like, why am I not seeing all of this as winning? You know what I mean? And so what I did was I came back and I kind of just changed my definition of what winning is to me. And I realized that actually I'm doing just fine, you know what I mean? And it's probably the same for you as well. So here's a really practical thing that you can do, is you can sit down with a pen and paper and write out all of the ways that you are already crushing it in music. Another thing you can do is do a progress audit. So take something that you made today and take something that you made roughly a year ago and put them side by side, and you can actually see the progress that you've made. And you can be like, whoa, actually, you know, I was not very good last year. You know what? Let's do it for this channel. I'm going to show you a snippet from a video I made roughly a year ago. Music is a lifelong endeavor. It's a path of mastery, and it's foolish to think that you can just like go to music school and study for 3 years and come out as some kind of music master. Okay, so, I mean, judge it for yourself. Is this video better than that? I think it is. I think I've definitely improved with these videos. You know, my delivery on camera is better. My confidence on camera is better. I think my talking points, my editing, my frame, my background. And so that's another practical thing that you can do, a progress audit. And then a third practical thing that you can do is to track your inputs. So I use an app called the Forest app, which allows you to plant trees based on the time that you're spending doing certain tasks. And you can grow this forest. And it's just a habit tracker app. But what it really is it shows me the amount of work that I'm actually putting in. And so if I'm ever feeling behind, like I have been over the past week, I just go on this Forest app and I see the amount of time that I've spent working. That is enough to give me a sense of satisfaction, give me a sense of self-worth, to be like, damn, I've actually put in a lot of work. And yeah, maybe I haven't got the results from that work yet, but at least I can be proud that I am doing the work to achieve my dreams, you know what I mean? And then you build this identity of someone who does the work even when you're not getting the results. And that is such a powerful and profound identity to hold. And so when you define your own win conditions, you can stop feeling behind and you can start feeling really good about yourself and feeling like you're winning and like you're on top of your stuff. And also when you do this, you're going to develop an abundance mindset. And when you're feeling positive and when you're feeling abundant, that's when you're magnetic and it's almost like you attract more opportunities to yourself and everything works out. Whereas when you focus on the things that you don't have yet, it's kind of like a lack mindset, and that's just gonna lead you to feel kind of down and feeling like you're behind in life. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I really hope these ideas are helpful to you. Again, these are just things that have worked for me on my journey, and most of the time they have helped me to get back on track, to keep going. And that's the most important point, okay? You just have to keep going. Don't ever give up. If you feel behind, just accept it, review your strategy, and come back and fighting even stronger, you know? And every time this happens, you're gonna be battle hardened. You're gonna be battle hardened, man. Like, just keep going, because eventually it's gonna happen, so long as you stick to the path and you don't ever give up, okay? Trust me, you're not gonna give up. All right, good luck, have fun, vibe and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.